there was a special game that was announced a few days ago. Yeah, a few days ago, around last week, I think. Yeah, around last week. End of this, we are going to be doing a Berserk run. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about Berserk, which I'm assuming is everyone, Berserk is a very interesting show, and I could give you an entire plot synopsis, similarities to everything in Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, but, and here's the kicker, I'm only going to bring up these similarities when I get to a point to which they're relevant. Until then, because this is Berserk Souls, we are going to be straight up ham. Whenever we get into a fight, we can take a hit, but if we die even once, we have to get rid of a piece of armor. And that's going to be the run rule. Whenever I die, I lose a piece of armor. I can switch it to another piece after, let's say, a minute. I have to wait a minute or so with no armor. If you can find a way to make that a little bit better, let me know in the comments section. Until then, try to recall your name. I believe this shall be the name of the Berserk run. The Berserk, like we're going to straight up be a berserker. We're going to actually need to start deprived. Now I say this because this part is actually relevant. So the reason why we're starting as a deprived instead of something else is because our character is going to be Guts. Guts started off as a small child. He was pretty much... That's actually the closest thing. He was pretty much just this very weak... He started off as a very weak, minor character. Didn't really have much to go off of. Didn't really have much he could do. But then came things that were a little bit different. Once he started finding where he decided to, what he wanted to do and how he wanted to do it, he went from being this scrawny little nobody, just a kid with a sword, to being what it might as well essentially be a master mercenary. But because he started off with nothing, we too will start off with nothing. But there will be a point in this game where it'll have to... will be a point in this game where it's going to get very inconvenient. And that point will actually be pretty soon, because I don't quite remember Dark Souls 2 as well as I want to. At least I think so. However, as such, in dealing with Dark Souls 2, we need a weapon. And this would be a lot easier for me to do in, say, Dark Souls 1, because Dark Souls 1 has straight up, like, Dark Souls 1 is perhaps the easiest game. Yeah, it's probably the easiest game in the lineup to do a straight up, like, Berserk run. I call it a Berserk run and not a Guts build because we're not necessarily going to go full on into what Guts' setup is by the time Berserk is done. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be just building up. We're going to build up the power of Berserker. And I make that sound really cool, but it really isn't. And the other thing that I wanted to point out is we're not using any of the imported stuff for now. I might end up using the imported hood at a little bit of a later date. But as of right now in the run, nothing. Completely naked, only utilizing the weapons, armors, and skills that I can pick up during my run. The actual part of the run. Oh look, Grimm's online. Anyway, we're only utilizing the weapons, armor, and skills that we pick up during the run. So like, but that's only for a little bit. Like, it's not going to be the entire run. It's just for now, where it makes sense. We don't quite have the stats to do anything. We have the stats to wield the dagger. We might even have the stats to dual wield the daggers. However, we don't quite have the ability to... Oh, I forgot something. We don't quite have the ability yet to go through the world and pick up go and purchase our gear yet, because... Oh my god, things are just happening left, right, and center right now. People, I just want to record in solitary confinement. Is that wrong? Is it? God, I hope nobody answers that. But yeah, we're going to be going through, and the run rules are going to be dependent on where in the run I am. This will carry over to Dark Souls 3. Not the save, obviously, because that doesn't work. But the idea, the fact that there's going to be a starting character as a depraved, and they will go through the games, like, going from 0 to 30 in Mach 5. So, as we go, this... To no one's surprise, this is pretty much guaranteed to be a strength run. However... This is going to be a strength run that has sets. It has, like, areas in which you can, like, once you get a certain way through the game, then you can enhance your gear, you can get better, and you can start, like, building up. But until you get to that certain part of the game... Oh my god, I was playing this on PS3, and now it's so much easier on PS4. What have I missed? What have I done? But, in terms of what I hope to accomplish with this run, I'm kind of going for so much as I am trying to go guts. I'm trying to be Berserk. There are certain things that I can't quite do for the very first run. So I can't quite get the Chaos Bed Vestigious. I can't quite be that good at Pyromancy. I can't quite do a lot of those things. And we're not doing 2 runs on this game. We're going 1 into 2. Like, we're going from Dark Souls 2 into Dark Souls 3, and then we're going to hope to continue on further and further as things progress. However, because of how the Dark Souls series works, and how much of a scrub I am at 1, we probably won't be doing that for a while. However, because we will not be doing 1, we will be doing as much of the DLC as we can. And so, God help me if I suck, we're going to get good. Now, I don't know if I'll be doing another challenge on top of this, or how often I'll even do this stream series, but I do know that I want to complete this, and I want to try and complete this before Berserk Warriors is released, solely because it's this isn't quite going to lead up to Berserk Warriors, because there's no American date for it, and yes, considering I'm Canadian, I have to go off American dates, because North America, we're a whole to everyone except for the U.S. In the U.S., we're considered their hat, and you are our pants, America. Suck it. That explains so much and yet so little. It's hilarious. Anywho, I want this to try and be a decent series. I want it to go for as long as I can, either until it gets too difficult or until I'm done. And if I can somehow make it so that, if somehow I am completely done with the Guts version of the challenge, there are 2 other characters that I can go into after Guts. Because Guts isn't the only character. I hesitate to say main character, but he's the only one that doesn't die. or at least one of 3. The other 2 will be Casca pre-event and Griffith pre-event. Essentially, this will probably end up being a pre-event series, with the exception of the end of the run in Dark Souls 2. Because in Dark Souls 2, there's a sword that vaguely resembles Guts' Dragon Slayer. And for those of you who don't know, or I think it's called the Dragon Slayer, but Guts has 2 swords throughout his time as a mercenary, and well, he has 1 sword as a mercenary and another sword once he's finished with, once the event happens. Before the event, his sword is just known in Dark Souls as the Great Sword. It's an ultra great sword, it's incredibly heavy, it scales really well, and it's destructive as shit. His other sword is called the Dragon Slayer. It is a gigantic, I believe if I remember correctly, it's a 7 feet, like 5-ton blade that is so blunt and disgustingly powerful that nobody really knows how to deal with it. Aside from Guts, who's the only person who can even wield the damn thing. Also, hello. Hi. I don't know why I know me. Why do you know me? Why do I know me? Anyway, returning to the Guts Berserk build thing, his Dragon Slayer sword in Dark Souls 2 would be considered the Gravekeeper's Greatsword, which is the giant slab of iron that just beats bitches down. That will be the second sword, so only in Dark Souls 2 will we go post-event. Also, Sam SB doing a Dark Souls 1 and 2 Berserk run. So that's fun. Oh, Sammy! Hi, Sammy. I didn't know you had your own PSN or you're on the internet. I don't know. I don't understand, but whatever. I would talk. I would explain more of the Berserk show, but now I kind of don't want to because, God forbid, you watch it. I'm gonna, but I shouldn't. I'm gonna. Anyway, in terms of the Berserk gear, we'll start off by getting just basic armor, like something simple like the Knight set or something, and we'll build up. As we build up, the armor will get more and more intense, and by intense, I mean it'll get a little closer to resembling what Guts looks like, because of the pre-time skip look, or the pre-event look, rather. There was no time skip, there was just death. But, there will be it'll be a basic set up until I lose the helmet. Then the armor can change a little bit. But the 3 stats we'll probably be going into the most in this will be HP, the 4 stats rather, because I just noticed I need to go in all of them, or at least everything but magic, will be first HP, strength, then dex, then endurance, then vitality. The end goal is going to be so that I resemble Guts, but I'm a Dark Souls character, obviously. And the biggest difference for that will be some of the gear may not match his exactly, and there may be certain times throughout the run in which I can't quite efficiently use his set, which means, welcome to Dark Souls, prepare to die a lot, because I'm gonna. I haven't played Dark Souls 2 since Dark Souls 3 came out, and even then, the little bit I've played has just been, hey, do I remember Dark Souls 2? And the answer, I remember it. Doesn't mean I can play it very well. But I was also playing on the PS3 version, which has many differences for those of you who are aware of Dark Souls 2. Or at least the original version compared to Scholar of the First Sin. But there will be a lot of things that occur, and a lot of it will be good. Other things will not be as good. They will be significantly less good. I need to check something right quick. Do I have? I do. Sweet! Hello, Emerald Herald. I need you to make my Estus better. Thank you, ma'am. I also need to equip my King Estus. That could have been bad. Do the first 3 areas no Estus? That would suck. Having to solely deal with just using life gems would be probably the worst thing ever. Though if I was doing the PvP guts build, I wouldn't need to. It would be explode or die. Thankfully, I'm not, because I don't PvP much, and I don't even know if there's still that many people playing Dark Souls 2. But there will be a few things that are different between the Dark Souls 2 run and Dark Souls 3 run, aside from the gear. It's particularly the Dark Souls 2 will have a post-event area, or at least part of the story, and Dark Souls 3 will not. It'll be strictly pre-event, which is going to be a lot easier, but there's going to be a post-event armor set, if that makes a little bit of sense to the people who understand what I'm talking about. But there will be armor set differences, big differences in Dark Souls 3 in comparison to 2. In 2, we're mostly going to be doing the standard guts build up until I can get the armor set to look a little better, and when I get the decent weapons. Until then, I feel that I need to explain Dark Souls to you, Sammy. Because if you don't know, then I should tell you. And I can tell you one thing real quick. DJ will not like this. One left, right, rather. Archer, then knight. Crap. Life gem. Sweet. Oh, cool. I got a better knife. A much, much, much better knife. Doesn't do as much crit, but it doesn't really need to. I don't have enough dexterity to wield a knife. Huh. I don't have enough of anything to wield most of my stuff. I have a one-knife job. Do I have a shield? No, but I have binoculars. Can't use those as a shield, horribly enough. Alright, so we are a straight-up knife. I'm used to playing as a good character and actually having decent base stats. The other big thing about Dark Souls 3 in comparison to 2 is in Dark Souls 3 I'm going to have a hell of an easier start, because in Dark Souls 3 starting Depraved starts you with 10 of everything. In Dark Souls 2 starting as Depraved you start 6 of everything. Now the big difference is if you have 10 you can use stuff. If you have 6, you can use the dagger. Crap. Greed. Where is he? I know you're... There he is. I was about to say, I know you're up there. I know you're up there. You know you're up there. We all know you're up there. Come fight me. Oh. I feel like I need to go deal with that. I fucked up magically. But I'm going to survive, and you are going to die. So, yeah, back to the Berserk stuff. I'm very easy to... We cannot repair it. It has to be tossed. Which means, hopefully, this dagger doesn't break before I can get to where I can buy stats, to where I can get good enough stats to actually be able to fight things without dying. Otherwise, I'm going to be punching the first boss to death, and that's bad. Because punching things is not good until you have decent stats to where punching is a suitable idea. Currently, 6 in everything but strength ain't good enough to punch things. 6 in everything but strength and life. So the other issue, even though my character is completely butt-ass naked, I somehow still have, like, the not as good jump. You can't see. Huh. I don't know if it's that you can't see or that my quality is ass. It might be the quality. Man, I wish I had better internet. Crap! That's death. The only way for me to check my own quality is to actually open up the video on my laptop, which will possibly make the quality a little worse. Luckily, I didn't have any gear, so I didn't lose any gear. And by gear, when I die, means, like, my armor. Hey, on a positive, I have 2 bandit knives. I just need to go. Oh my god, you just scared me, Ogre. I just went to go and check. I need to go and get my souls back, and from there I might actually be able to use the dagger. That is not this crap. And for those of you who do know that aren't new, I guess, note my internet's been having a little bit of ups and downs recently. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know how to fix it. If you do know how to fix an internet issue, let me know. And if your answer is get better internet, you can't do that right now. Crap. There we go. Oh yeah, I forgot to equip that. Really? Alright, for those of you who don't know what it does, that's what the white ring does. Makes you look like a phantom. You want to know how much use that is? It isn't. Well, I can just keep farming souls, essentially, so that's fine. Considering the more money, the more level. I will have to do that. It's 328. I'll have to wait until it's been a little bit because my brother's on a call, which might be one of the reasons why it's just drowning so quickly. But I need to wait a little bit because dying is bad. But I will fix the internet before the next stream, hopefully. And if I can't, then I do need better internet. Or a separate internet for streaming or something. I need to find something out. If it died. Says it's still going. So that's convenient. But because the connection died. Ah, okay.
Says it's still good.
I see. Oh, I see. So the stream can be heard but not seen.
I see.
I'll be right back.